Hello everybody, thank you for clicking on this video. I hope you find it interesting. I'm gonna try to be quick because the sun is setting and I don't want to be here at night sitting outside, so I'll be quick. Basically, I'm gonna be talking about sleep paralysis and different things that people encounter while they have sleep paralysis. And if you don't know what that is, but I'm pretty sure most people do know what that is, it's basically when your mind and your body don't sync up when you're sleeping. So basically, like when you're asleep, your body will like paralyze you so that you don't act out your dreams in real life. But sometimes your brain will wake up and your body will still be like asleep, so you can like look around and stuff like that, but you can't move. Something that happens when people have sleep paralysis is that they'll have these hallucinations where it can be like an auditory hallucination where like they hear stuff, or it'll be like a visual hallucination where they like see these figures, or sometimes it can even be sensations like feeling that something's on your chest. So those are all things that can happen when you do get sleep paralysis, and that's what I want to talk about today. Before I get farther into the video, I did want to mention the obvious, which is that I'm not like a researcher or a scientist or anything. So if you're gonna be listening to me, take it with like a grain of salt, because I just found these like stuff online. A lot of it's definitely not like scientifically backed. It doesn't come from like scholarly sources, but it's still interesting either way. So if you're into like spooky stuff, I'd say to stick around. And if you're not into that, maybe you can try giving it a shot. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way. So now we'll get into it. All right, party people. So I went back at the video and I realized that I didn't describe some stuff as good as I wanted to. So I will be appearing every once in a while whenever I feel like I didn't describe something good enough. So yeah. So I'm just gonna list the entities that people see when they have sleep paralysis. The common name that you'll hear them be referred to online or like basically anywhere is sleep paralysis demons. One of them is the shadow man, which is basically it's a visual hallucination where people will see like a shadow figure either watching them, or some people are say that the figure creeps towards them menacingly while they sleep, but that's a common one that people see. Another one that's more of a auditory hallucination is the intruder, which is you don't see anything, but people will report hearing whispers or hearing footsteps, and just overall feeling the presence of an unwelcome visitor in their room. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. And another thing that I hadn't heard of until doing some research for the video are reports of people seeing like animalistic creatures. So it's not a person, like it's literally like some creepy wonky looking animal like a cat or a dog. Its features are more like disfigured or grotesque, where its features are meant to be more menacing or alarming for people. Two figures that I think are more like online creepypasta type stuff are the Hat Man, which is like what it sounds like a guy with a hat who is in your room and you feel scared and dread, and people say that he comes with malicious intent. The second more creepypasta feeling-ish one is the Smiling Man, which is again like what it sounds like, some dude who smiles at you and he's spooky and he's in your room. And I think those are they have something to them. Yeah, but the one that I found the most interesting isn't really a specific like figure or demon. It's an experience that I think can most be accurately described as like an alien abduction, where people will say that they had sleep paralysis and they couldn't move, and they won't describe it as sleep paralysis because no, they're getting abducted by an alien. And they know it's an alien because it was a bright light floating into their room. Or they'll say that they saw, the stereotypical alien with, the big. There's a lot of mosquitoes out here. Big, black eyes and the gray skin and long arms and, that kind of stuff. And I think that that's interesting. When people share their, those encounters with like the alien, they don't describe it as sleep paralysis because in their mind it's real. It's a real alien abduction. The reason that I found it while looking stuff up was because, it's people hearing about that and being like, oh, that was sleep paralysis. What I think I meant during this part was that the reason that I found UFO abduction experiences while I was doing research about sleep paralysis was because people hear about the UFO encounters, and hear sleep paralysis. So then it gets interpreted as a sleep paralysis experience. So although for one person it might feel, because, again, sleep paralysis feels real in the moment. So although one person might view that experience as like a real life UFO encounter, other people might interpret it as sleep paralysis, which I think is the point that I was trying to make. And the reason that I decided to make this video like in the first place was because I think it was around a year ago now was when I first had my own like sleep paralysis encounter or just experience where I was asleep and it was mostly like an auditory hallucination. For the months following that, like I would get sleep paralysis on occasion. There was a point where it was like 4 months ago now. I'd get it at least once a week. Most times it was multiple times a week, and it got to the point where like I didn't want to sleep anymore because I'm like, oh well, if I go to sleep I'm gonna get it, which is like when you get it, well, at least when I get it, it's like I don't rationalize that that it's not real. Like in the same way that in a dream you don't know that you're dreaming and it just feels real. The following experiences that I've gotten with sleep paralysis have thankfully not been as bad as like the very first time that I had it, but like I still feel fear from it. Like my brain tells me to be scared, so I get scared, and I don't rationalize that it's just sleep paralysis until I wake up. Something I thought that was really interesting was, this isn't my first time trying to make this video. I tried making it yesterday. I didn't end up liking the footage that I had taken, so I ended up deleting it all. So basically I hadn't had sleep paralysis for months, or at least a month, but then the day that I decided to record and start talking about it was which was yesterday, I got it again. And again, it wasn't as bad as the first time. It was just me. I couldn't move. I felt scared. And every time that I get it, every single time that I get it, I always try screaming for help, which is like trying to yell when you have sleep paralysis is like the most annoying thing in the world, because it's like mostly air comes out. You're trying to say help, and like you don't realize how much work it is to say help. You don't realize how many muscles go into saying help until you are paralyzed. So that happened yesterday, last night, where I got it. I tried screaming for help. I ended up just sounding like a crying animal, and my brother woke me up. Well, tried waking me up. In my head, I could hear him calling my name. And then I woke up, which was good. And I hope I don't get it today for talking about it. I say all of that to bring you guys up to speed on why I was interested in making this video in the first place. And also because while I was making the video, I decided to go on like a little side quest where I was like, maybe there is an entity for the thing that I encountered my very first time. So I found one sleep paralysis demon that I think is pretty close to what I experienced. It is called the Whisperer, where basically it's not a visual hallucination, it's completely auditory, where you will hear a menacing voice, where you will feel its intent that it wants to just be evil, and it likes making you scared and stuff like that. So yeah, that was like the closest thing I could find. I hope I don't get sleep paralysis again for talking about this today, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. the way I wanted to wrap this video up was to talk about why some people think that there are like very common sleep paralysis experiences. Why a lot of people experience, the figure or the shadow man or whatever I said. And I think a really popular look at it is that it's a lot of it depends on like culture. Okay, I didn't describe this part that well either. So basically what I tried to say was that, your culture affects the way that you interpret your experience, like how different cultures interpret dreams differently and the meaning of dreams. For example, for the, UFO things, I think it's safe to assume that, people who are more into the topic of believing UFO encounters and abductions are going to be, maybe a little bit more likely to have, hallucinations of that, or if it's like a hallucination of like a light, one person might think that the light is an angel, while the person who is more into UFOs and stuff like that is gonna be like, yes, that light was a UFO. So I think that's what I tried to say. Okay, the sun is setting, and I don't like being. My brother just got back from biking, and I'm really embarrassed that he's seeing me like this. Help me. Okay, basically that was in my video, and I realized none of it was like very well explained or well thought out or anything like that. It was basically the ramblings of a crazy old man. But thank you for watching anyways. Oh no, I tried showing you guys a roly-poly. I really like roly-polies. I think they're the least ugly insect, and I don't mind touching them. And I don't like bugs. It's actually an isopod. Maybe. I could be wrong about that. I'm not gonna Google it. So yeah, the sun's setting. I think I'm done being outside. As I was saying, I don't like being outside because it's creepy. I'm scared. I'm a scaredy cat. So yeah. Thank you for watching. I think my next video won't be as like, I don't know when the next time it will be that I post, but I will try to make it hopefully soon, and maybe try to do a lighter topic because I scare myself. My narration wasn't even that scary. It was, but I still find a way to scare myself, which is why I think I got sleep paralysis yesterday. The roly-poly ran away. I didn't kill him. That's my proof that he ran away. I didn't kill him. But yeah, if you stuck around for the video this long and you liked it, this video is for you. And if you didn't like it, well, let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any video suggestion ideas, I could do it. But yeah, I think that was basically it. I might redo this whole video. Is it working? Hello? Hello? Okay, I wonder. Okay, is this working? Is this working? I think it's working now. Okay. So let's see. Let's see. How do I turn this around? Bitch, this was an option a second ago. Beautiful. Let's zoom. Okay, let's see if that worked. Hi. This is, I can't do it. Is this good? Or is this good? Is this good? Hello, everyone. What if I were to clip it? How the heck do you do this? Is this good? We'll see. Like, it's an alien. Like, either they'll see the... Also, another thing real quick, I wore this shirt intentionally for this video because I really like it, and I never showed it off. Isn't that neat? Okay.
Yeah.